If you have ever woken up and feel like you are just going through the motions, like you want to be confident and disciplined, but you just keep falling back into your old habits, a real glow up does not happen through little bursts of motivation. It happens whenever you show up to the same habits on repeat, when you don't feel like it, and when it's boring, and when absolutely nobody else is watching. When you can do that, that is when real transformation happens. Welcome back to the Girl Check-In. If you haven't been here before, it's a moment we take every single week to get honest with ourselves and to realign into the version that we are becoming. And today we are checking in with our habits to make sure that they are actually moving us forward and not holding us back. Because I used to be the girl that would get so inspired, so motivated, and I would make all these little promises to myself that I would keep up for a week or two, but then after that I would get so burnt out, let everything go, and then I just lost all of the trust that I had in myself. I just felt like I was truly the problem. And if you're in the same situation or you feel the same way, I want you to realize you are not the problem either. The true problem that really happens to people is because they try to change everything all at one time, and therefore it leads to burnout. And this video is not about adding in more habits to what you're already trying to build. It's checking in with yourself to make sure that the ones that you're doing are the right habits and they're actually leading you towards the life that you want. And make sure you stay tuned, because the last habit we're going to talk about is the habit that truly made all of the other habits finally stick. Stop starting your days reactively. This is the first habit that truly changed everything, was deciding how my day was going to start every single day before getting on my phone, before anyone could come get to me with their opinions and their energy, and before exposing myself to the world that day. I'm not sitting here saying you need to go develop a 2-hour aesthetic morning routine. I'm saying just take 10 minutes to yourself. 10 minutes every morning to set your intention and get your thoughts very, very clear and fuel yourself before fueling anything or anybody else. For example, for me, this looks like immediately making my bed, going to the kitchen and fueling my body with electrolytes from my Celtic sea salt water and lemon so that I'm actually hydrated after sleeping for about 7 to 8 hours. And then I go move my body. And just those 3 acts alone fuel me for the rest of the day. Knowing that I took care of myself, it's such a great way to start the day instead of just sitting in bed and scrolling on your phone, exposing yourself to the news, to other things that you can compare yourself to that don't make you feel as good. It's just incredibly important to take that time and intentionally take at least 10 minutes to yourself. Because when you can start your day with purpose, it's gonna change how you show up throughout the rest of your day, because you're not just reacting to everything that comes your way. You're actually leading yourself through your day with good energy, good intentional energy at that, because you took the time to fuel yourself before anything or anybody else. So this is your sign to pick something you can do for at least 10 intentional minutes in the morning to truly set the tone for your day, and that fuels your tank. The second habit is to create habits that you can do even on your very worst day. For me, in my head, discipline was like an all or nothing thing, as far as like if I couldn't do my full 45-minute full body workout, then I couldn't work out at all. Or if I couldn't execute my entire morning routine, then it was all for naught. I had literally set myself up to fail. So instead, I decided to pick habits that I could do even on my lowest energy days, so that I was always showing up for myself, no matter how not good I may feel. So what I like to do is kind of come up with like a bare minimum for every habit. So if I can't do my full 45-minute workout, maybe just going for a 10-minute walk or doing a 5-minute stretch. Or say at night, I'm too tired to do my full 30-minute night routine, I at least wash my face, get the makeup off my face, put on my skincare, and lay out my workout clothes for the next day. If I can do those 2 to 3 things, then I've shown up for myself and I have kept my word to myself even though I was absolutely exhausted. And you make the rule to yourself that you always do the bare minimum. And chances are, at least what I've noticed, is when you show up to do the bare minimum, you'll end up doing the rest. But on the off days where you don't end up doing more after getting that initial momentum, you've still kept that promise to yourself. Because discipline is not about intensity, it's about consistency. And making it as easy as possible to be as consistent as you can be is the most important foundational thing that you can do. So go through your habits and figure out what the bare minimum looks like for each of those habits so that you literally have no excuse to not show up regardless of how your energy levels are on that day. Habit number 3 is to plan your weeks before they are planned for you. This made my weeks so much calmer, way more productive, and insanely less overwhelming. Every Sunday, start doing a little 15-minute weekly reset for yourself. Literally just 15 minutes, not an hour, not 2 hours, just 15 minutes. And ask yourself, what actually matters this week? And for this, I really would not list any more than just your 3 priorities for that week. The second thing you need to ask yourself, what is going to derail me? This is key because you can go ahead and plan for the obstacles that you know are coming your way. Maybe you know work is going to be extra busy that week and you're just going to be more tired than normal. Or you know there's some kind of event this particular week that you don't normally have that might kind of shift things for you. Just plan for the obstacles before they happen. And ask yourself, what is one way that you can prep to make this easier for yourself? And that's it. If you can take 15 minutes once a week, answer those questions, and really just lay out your week, I promise you they're going to feel so much less chaotic, and therefore you're going to have so much energy for the other things that truly matter because you've already planned for those obstacles. They're not going to catch you off guard. You've already prepped yourself to handle them with grace. Now, if you're still here, I want you to know that if you have been in this place where you have fallen off your habits before, you are not bad at discipline. Okay, the fact that you're even watching a video about how to build habits and what habits to build show that you are a disciplined person and you have the desire to consistently build the habits that will fuel your life. You just haven't built the right system yet. And the next few habits are going to help show you how you can actually do that. Stop using your guilt as motivation. This one is very important because I always thought the harder that I was on myself, the more disciplined I would become. Like maybe if I just made myself feel bad enough, I'd eventually get it all together. But what actually happened is the guilt made me avoid my habits. And the shame from not doing them would make me give up way faster. If you're in the same situation or you have been in the same situation, don't think to yourself, why can't I do this? Get to the root of the problem and ask, what is making this hard right now? What got in the way? Was it your emotions? Are you just too tired? Are you overwhelmed? And what can you do next time to just make it easier? Don't have the guilt, just use that instance as data to make your experience with the habit better in the future and make it easier to do in the future so you know kind of what to look out for next time. When I finally made this shift, that's whenever my actions actually started to stick because I wasn't making myself feel horrible. I was literally collecting my lessons that I learned from the mistakes that I made and improving along the way. And that is literally all you can do. That's what the most successful people do, is they fail forward. Habit number 5 is to protect your energy like it matters more than anything on this earth because it is your most valuable currency. Your habits will only work if your energy supports them. When I was trying to build my habits, I had to look at why I wasn't being consistent. I was not eating the foods that fueled my body, so I was making myself feel absolutely horrible between being bloated and having sugar crashes and giving my energy to people and situations that didn't deserve my energy and that were not getting me anywhere closer to my goals. In fact, they were pushing me further and further away. And when you can diagnose things like that, and when I finally did, I was like, no freaking wonder I can't seem to stay consistent with my habits. I don't have any energy for them. So really look at your habits, look at your day-to-day, and try to figure out where your energy is going. And the best way to do this is to track these 4 things. So your sleep, how much sleep are you getting? Track your movement, even if you just go for a walk. Monitor how much you are scrolling, so check your screen time, and if it's a little out of hand, just set your daily limit to about 1 hour a day. And then track your mood, because you can look at all of those other 3 factors and see how it's affecting your mood. Maybe you're not getting enough sleep and you're scrolling too much and you're tired and you're drained. Or maybe you are noticing that the days you do go and move more, you scroll less, you feel a lot better. So you can really correlate what's going on and what you're actually giving your energy to. Your energy is your foundation for building habits, so you need to protect it. So pick one thing that drains you and try your best to either eliminate it this week or handle it in a better way so it doesn't drain your energy. Habit number 6 is to keep the small promises that you make to yourself. This habit rebuilt my confidence more than anything else, because confidence does not come from the big wins. It comes from the trust that you build with yourself. And that trust is built through the small promises that you actually keep to yourself. So start by making one little promise to yourself that you know you can keep every day. It doesn't have to be anything big. It can be that you're going to drink 4 bottles of water that day. You're going to get 5,000 steps, at least 5,000 to 7,000 steps per day. You're going to read 5 pages of your book. And then make sure you follow through with that one thing and keep doing that, and you can build on it, and before you know it, you're going to actually build that self-trust in yourself and feel so much more confident, which is going to lead to having more energy to do the habits that you say you're going to do. Habit number 7 is to simplify your habits to where they feel absolutely effortless. If a habit feels too hard, then it's too complicated. I used to try to build these elaborate routines, which is so easy to do whenever you watch people on social media, and I learned very, very quickly that after doing it for a day or so, I would completely burn out and be overwhelmed because it was just too much. It was too complicated. If this is the case for you, then you need to simplify everything. A really good way to do this is the 2-minute rule. So break down a habit into 2 minutes. So instead of saying work out for 30 minutes, just say I'm going to put on my workout clothes. Or instead of saying I'm going to eat healthy all week long, maybe just say you're gonna add a vegetable to your dinner. And whenever you show up for those 2 minutes, the momentum is gonna start taking over and you're gonna end up doing more than just those 2 minutes. When you put on your workout clothes, you are more likely to go work out for at least 20 to 30 minutes because you've already gotten the hard part out of the way. That 2-minute rule is going to make starting easy for you. So if there's one particular habit that you feel like you just had a really hard time staying consistent with, pick that one habit and then break it down into something that is so insanely simple, it is so hard for you to not do it. And I promise you, if you do this for a week, you are going to end up doing this habit most likely about every day. Habit number 8 is to track what matters to you and not everything. Instead of tracking your calories, your steps, your water intake, your sleep, your mood, your productivity, just focus on the things that actually matter to you and that get you closer to your goals. And I like to focus on just 4 at a time, but it needs to be 4 that are actually going to move the needle forward. And once you pick your 4 things, just take a few minutes to yourself every night and check in and say like, okay, well, say you're tracking your sleep. Did you sleep well the night before? Did you move your body that day? Did you actually protect your energy that day? Like, just check in with yourself so that you can see exactly the correlations with yourself and your habits and the consistency overall with your habits. Those 4 things are going to help you see any patterns, and that clarity is going to give you the momentum that you need to pivot where you need to and keep on going. This is the habit that is going to tie all of these together, but you need to decide who you are becoming and then just become her. This is a game changer because instead of looking around being like, what should I do today? I would think about the version of myself that I'm becoming and that I want to become and ask myself, what would the most disciplined, confident version of me do here? What would she be doing? And I think when you can get so clear on that version of yourself, you can really ask yourself, what would they be doing if they were in this moment right now. Maybe write down at least 5 sentences of who you're becoming. And after you write those down, you need to read them every single morning because it's going to remind you of who you're showing up as throughout the day. And whenever you're faced with a decision throughout the day, you can ask yourself between the options that you have, which one aligns the most with that version of myself that I described that I'm becoming? What would she do? And then go do that, because your identity is going to create habits, and those habits create results. If you are wanting a real glow up in 2026, you don't need to change your entire life overnight. All you need are better habits and repeat them consistently. So out of all 9 of these habits, just pick one and start from there. Your glow up is not going to happen from motivation or perfection. It's gonna come from you showing up as someone that keeps the promises that you make to yourself, and from just showing up for yourself day in and day out. So tell me in the comments, of all 9 of these habits, which one are you picking to start with this week? And if you're ready for more weekly check-ins like this, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe down below so you don't miss any of our check-ins every single Sunday. We always talk about actionable things here and not just aesthetic things that you can do. So we're gonna focus on true growth. So make sure you don't miss an episode. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next girl check-in. Bye.